Morning, folks. 5:18 in the morning, West Coast time. It's October 26, 2024, at a Weaver Agency of Roseman, California. And already the corporate media is going nuts over the actions of two print organizations owned by billionaires who are deciding to step back from the politics. Out here in Los Angeles, or in California, where Los Angeles Times is head honcho when it comes down for the print media. Their current billionaire, who bought the company out back in 2018, is deciding to step back in this particular election race and just not do a damn thing about who they're going to endorse. Now, originally, as I was going through the material on this one, when it was founded, it was basically supporting Republicans all the way until Richard Nixon. Then after that, forget it. Democrats all the way. Until we had Trump in office, and then showing what kind of a there are too many descriptions about this guy, both negative and rotten. So Times continued to support Democrat until this time. They're following suit with other corporate media out there who are owned by billionaires. And they're saying, no, we don't want to anger Donald Trump. If we say something negative and derogatory about him, he's going to retaliate at us. He's going to do something to us. Therefore, we can't inform our readers not to go for this lunatic who is threatening to tear apart our company. The corporate must survive. Doesn't matter if they're for the truth or not. Apparently, they're not. That's why there has been resignations in different sections of the newsprint over this. Editorial chiefs and then more editors out there are deciding, okay, that's it. No more of this. The LA Times was going to be supporting Kamala Harris, but was ordered by the billionaire not to because fear of Donald Trump. Fear of Donald Trump that when he gets in the office, he's going to be going after those who persecuted him. And because Donald Trump was in office all those years, and even afterwards, they were still going after him. Washington Post was doing the same thing. But they didn't want to get their company torpedoed either. So they decided they're not going to do a damn thing. They're not going to endorse anybody. They're not going to tell you that because of their analysis and of their reportings that Donald Trump is incapable of being the president of the United States. Because the way he's been showing his behavior off and his actions are showing him not to be presidential, but anti. And especially when he goes after people left and right. He's been vowing at his rallies that he's still going to be going after those who have persecuted him in court systems. And in anybody else, even beyond the media. He's become the political boogeyman. And I'm not talking about something coming back from the 1970s with a weird-ass dance step. No. No, we're talking about something that's still crawling around under people's beds and closets and in the shadows. He's the boogeyman. You piss off the Trump, he's coming after you. Ooh. Yeah, well, here's my piss off. And here's my pissed off. Bite me, Trump. Come after me. What do I got to lose? Except to be homeless and get persecuted left and right for not being a United States citizen. Your Supreme Court did that. With all you Trumplicans out there in wherever areas, you made the homeless people an issue. You turned them into non-existent people that they have to be persecuted all the time. You had to keep telling people they no longer matter. Problem is, they don't have the funding necessary to take care of them because now, by a Supreme Court action, because of the conservative stacked and packed, they have turned the homeless into non-existent. To be shoved. They're in the NIMBY. Not in my backyard. Ever. And we have done this to ourselves because we elected assholes in there like that. The judges are not elected by officials. They should have been. The lower courts, yes. But when it comes down for the federal district, the appellate, and the Supreme Court, that's the federal right there. And they got to be sworn in. They have to go through interviews with Congress, see whether or not if they are worthy enough. Basically, the Senate will be doing all the confirmation and doing all the voting. But the voters are the ones that keep voting in these idiots over here that keep screwing people over left and right with their decisions. They don't think, they don't want to think, they don't care. So now we got this. Now we got the billionaires making the decisions. And they're going to be affecting our elections left and right. A lot of people still think that Trump is whatever he is to them. They wanted a champion. And all he did was screwing over people left and right. One of the rallies, he was out here in Coalinga in California. Actually, the only rally we had out here in Coalinga. He left people in the desert. No transportation home. They had to scramble their way. That's a president for you. Or at a rally back east where he's supposed to be talking to people, and then for several hours he's chatting his ass off on a podcast with some other schmuck. And again, the people walked out on him. That district knows that they can't trust him. He would call President Obama too tired, too old. The spokespeople of Trump keep saying that he's got all the energy in the universe. No, he doesn't. He's an old, tired, senile, old fart. Yes, I did use the old a few times there. He's always pushing 80. Biden had the good sense of using his backup to go for the presidency because this is a way of getting the vice president up there. It wasn't a political move because Biden knew that he wasn't going to do it. He was going to be able to do it as much as his spirit would want it to. His body and his mind wasn't. But he still got enough of his mind to stay in for the rest of the term. But they're all fearing Donald Trump because of what this old senile man is going to do and say. And try to enact executive orders to go after people left and right. Influence Congress to get them to vote his way. And then you got the billionaires who are going to do it. It's going to be up to the American people. It's going to be up to those folks to decide if they're going to have the billionaires running things or are they going to be running things. It's going to be up to the. It's not going to be up to the billionaires. It's going to be up to the people. They've had this problems before. They had these problems before. People just keep forgetting history left and right. They don't want to remember. They don't want to know. They just want to be led. And if a guy shows like he's got strength, he's going to lead them right over the wall, or actually right over a cliff. They'll follow him. Smart leader will have been telling them, "Get back. We're not going there. You want to stay alive? Follow me." The other schmucks are just going because, "Oh, no, you can't do that. You gotta go me. I got everything. I'm doing everything. Ah." What you guys say again? Oh, who cares about you? I just care about me. When I start hearing a presidential candidate start worrying more about his own image than anything else, instead of the country, instead of the people, these are the guys you don't follow. And the billionaires are afraid of this asshole because of what he represents. He was one of them at one time, but now he's broken down all for it. They're saying he keeps running out of money. He keeps trying to borrow from everybody else. It's lucky enough he gets a billion here or a billionaire from the other billionaires. Even Elon Musk is not questioning it. He's still thinking that this old senile fart's going to do everything for him because that's what he promised. Don't they understand about senility, Alzheimer's, dementia? I got a feeling the medical establishment has already diagnosed old gas bag. He's going to need more help than we do, than me. He's going to need a lot more medical and mental health. But the people don't want to hear it. They kept saying a salesperson trying to tell him how strong he is and he's going to lead them. Well, when he can't do night meetings anymore, when he can't keep his promises with the rallies by going to the rallies to talk shit to him, and be just a doddering old fool on a stage. I'm sorry, this guy is not it. It's not just the United States stage that we have over here. It's the world stage looking at us, looking at what the hell's wrong with the Americans this time. We voted a gas bag and almost screwed everybody else left and right. I mean, I'm making all the general accusations, but there are facts and figures out there. Probably could find out whatever everyone else's opinions, what they thought it was, what he didn't do, what he did do. There's records out there that can speak volumes about him. But some people think he's going to turn the comedy around. How is he going to do that? What's he going to do? Build a wall? That's coming out of taxpayers' pocketbooks. And besides, all they can do is board a plane, cross over the border, cross over the country, go to Canada, and come through that border. What, did they think about that shit? Several months ago, there was a news report out there popping. Documentary here. How easy it is to cross the border from the north. Now, I said it before a long time ago in my videos. I can remember this correctly, that we would have to encircle the whole country with a border wall. How do we dry up the ocean or allow motion to come through special gates? You know, they had a movie out there, Blade Runner. Uh, Not the older Blade Runner, but the newer Blade Runner that came out several years ago. And they were showing the coastline. They're showing the coastline of the West. Border walls. Water was still coming through, but people couldn't cross the border. They had a seawall. What happens if they have a seawall surrounding the country? I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding. It's a scary thought that we have. It is a scary thought. Having a border wall surrounding the country, even on the coasts, more harsher on the security coming in and out of the country, having the ships being searched constantly, and then all those islands that are supposedly owned and operated by the United States. Well, they're going to be even worse off apparently. In the Caribbean, probably. Maybe the storm walls will block off the sea from rising. Maybe it'll stop the hurricanes. Maybe. Maybe not. Not high enough. I've been thinking about that one. I've been coming across other items that a friend of mine across the ways from up north kept telling me that I shouldn't have to worry about this Jacqueline. I said, no, I have to. Because what he's talking about is affecting people the way they're thinking along the things we have right now. Been repeated decades ago, including now. You got jackaloons out there, all the conservatives who are trying to tell us we have to follow their way. We have to believe in their system because they say so. How to affect people's lives. Physically, emotionally, mentally, spiritually, everything. Access to one's body, to what freedoms we're allowed to have and not to have. Fear of everybody who's different. I'm not saying that we've got one political leader who's going to be showing us the way, but think of it as steps along the way that's supposedly going to help us build a better country. And in the process, we are going to stumble, fall, break our bones, faces, drag ourselves across, but we're putting down more and more of the road. We're going to be battered, beaten, bloodied, bludgeoned, injured, broken, and just slithering along while we're still putting the road, hopefully, to our country can be a lot better in the future than we are right now. And then the blood will go into the mortar and solidify, just like the previous stones that other people have laid down for our generation. Now we got to do it for this generation. They're not going to like it. This isn't a. How can I put this into a reference that people can try understanding? Our country isn't perfect. It's not supposed to be perfect, but it's supposed to be constantly building itself all the time. All those conflicts that we've had, internal and external, all those experiences, memories, lessons we've learned, they're part of it. They're part of our history, our culture, our mistakes that we've made to tell people that this was important at the time. And then we look back at it and say, no, we made a damn mistake and we didn't see it at the time. We were too blind to it. Sometimes I feel like we're making an empire. But how long was the Roman Empire lasting? For a long time. That's the longest empire I know of. And eventually it got itself split into two. One portion died off and the other one kept living until, what, the 1400s? Or maybe more than that. But they still had their own little empire. Concerning about slaves, I don't know if they still had slaves during those days. All I know, when they started out and still continuing in the before Common Era and after Common Era, yeah, they did up to points, up to a certain point. History is long, it's complicated, it's scary. Recorded facts, recorded items, and then everything else gets to be reinterpreted, especially when something new comes up and challenges. Challenges the thought, challenges the foundation, and then we got to rethink it all over again. Scary when things get to be redesigned. It's just like us growing old. My generation growing old. Me growing old. I'm dealing with ideas and ideologies when I was a lot younger man or a boy. That I wanted to see these things back again. But only with that kind of mentality. Only with that kind of thinking. But I look in the mirror, I look in the camera. I'm looking at this camera. I'm looking at my face right now. There's no way in hell I am that kid with that kind of idea. Too damn innocent. Too damn innocent. Too immature. Naive. Naivete. I was trying to find out about that word. I know I'm having problems with my communications because I'm struggling with words. I'm struggling with the correct words to say in the way I think they should be said. My speech patterns are changing. My mental status, physically and mentally, are mutating or deteriorating more precisely because I'm seeing myself changing and I don't like it. Some people will be screaming for medications to change their brains. I have to deal with it and face it. Eventually, I'm going to be in a position where I am not going to be able to take care of myself because I've allowed myself to be this way without any drugs, without any medications, just allowing it to happen. I may be on the street. I may be somewhere else. Maybe locked up in a cold room somewhere. Who knows? I'm looking back at times where I thought it would have been a hell of a lot better, but the problem is it isn't. I have to deal with the reality of it. I have to deal with the reality at the moment. I can't worry about the future because right now the future's still being built by my own sweat, by my own scrapings, by my own blood, of my path that I'm still trying to form. Of a legacy, of mistakes, of decisions, of everything that makes me me. And I see myself as part of the country doing the same thing. We just haven't realized it. We didn't want to be aware of it. We wanted everything to be perfect in this particular form and fashion. You know what? It isn't. We're not there. We're never going to be there. Someone else's grandiose design of what life is supposed to be, and we're supposed to follow it? I'm sorry. I don't share it. And it doesn't work for me. So I don't do it. I'm not following anybody else who's saying that you have to follow me because I say so. There's my fingers again. I'm not making any fun way with anybody else because I curse, I cuss. I'm a stubborn cuss. Been that way for a while. Got my own ideas and ideologies. I don't shove it down people's throats. I'm not telling you any which way, shape, or form how to be. At least I'm trying not to be. But I'm telling you what it is. In my own personal opinion. It's my own damn personal opinion I'm sharing at this point. My own thoughts and my own viewpoints. My own observations. How I'm seeing things are happening right now. I'm not trying to go out there and thump on people's heads and tell them, you got to think my way because I tell you to, because I want you to. I got stuff, I got trinkets to show you here. I need to buy your loyalty, your attention, your observation. You will do it for me, right? No, no. If I go down, I go down. I go down knowing something about myself. I know that for a time, I still don't like people because they backstab. They got their own damn agendas, or they're supposedly well-meaning, and yet something happens. So I can't deal with that one. And I can tell you that sometimes what they want from me, I can't give them. I don't have it. They want loyalty. Why? Because they say so? Because they want it? Why? Why? I'm asking, why? What do you want of me? What do you want from me? You want me to do something for you. Why can't you do it? Why can't you get off your dead lazy ass and do the shit yourself? Because you're going to need my help for something? What? If I'm going to be turning out to be just like you, then I'm going to be asking you, what's in it for me? Being the cynical, critical thinking bastard who's looking at everybody else trying to be hypocritical at this point over here, saying that, oh, we're following this certain pathway, we're following this and following him, and that's showing up to be the purest hypocrites ever because they backstab. And then we show that to the rest of the world. We show that to the rest of the world and what kind of people we truly are. Hypocritical, backstabbing bastards who are selfish, self-centered, self-conscious, and want the world following our way. Welcome to imperial thinking. They call it manifest destiny. It's imperial thinking. We've had it for a long while. We've had it ingrained in our damn genetics. We just can't isolate it. A behavior that's constantly learned, a behavior that's constantly taught to us. Pride, ego. And want followers so damn badly, they're willing to lie, cheat, steal, and con people into it. And we're there. We try to say it's for religious purposes. We're doing it for a higher purpose. No, you're not. You're doing it for ego. You're doing it for your own damn pride, your own damn arrogance, your indifference. You're blind to suffering of others. You'll lie about it. You can't lie to yourself. You can't lie to yourself. People who think you care about you, do they? Do they really? Some people I know are trying to self-sacrifice like crazy because they do matter a great deal. There are people like that. And then there's others who make the promises and just lie to your face, trying to make it all better. Be honest with the damn shit, will you? At least I'd rather see the damn thing coming at my chest instead of my back. So don't lie to me about it. You're going to betray? Betray. Christ never liked it. Judas betraying him with a kiss. But Christ already knew, but Judas was going to be doing it. You have to learn to read in between the lines. He already knew. He already knew. It's part of the program. Part of a program that was already told to him, but probably suppressed until the last second. We dumb humans don't know our ass from a hot rock. We've got wars fighting right now. We've got constant engagements that are tearing ourselves apart. We have politics that are destroying ourselves one way or another. Rich people telling us that we have to follow this way and follow that way because they so because they got the money. However they got it, and now their money says, I'm more important than anybody else. than an individual, let alone a country. But is their money going to stop a war? Is their money going to stop weapons coming over? And I'm not talking about crossing a border in someone else's backpack or a car. I'm talking about what if we get anything like an aerial assault? Are they going to help out with that? They'll try to influence people's opinions because they got money to share around. Say, get my money, have my money here because I need to get people's opinions adjusted one way or another. We need to stop this. It's already been ongoing and you weren't even part of the process. You were just on the wayside. Now you want to get involved? Where the fuck were you all the time? No, you're just busy counting your damn dimes and nickels. You don't care about anybody else being poor and helpless on the outside. You don't care about the homeless or being pushed and shoved around by people like you. Making up the laws. It was a good thing I learned about that concept a long time ago about elitism. Because I'm seeing it more and more in action. Been in action for a hell of a long while. Made the dots, connected them. Yeah, so I got an issue with it. People scream that the ones who got a lot of money, they don't need to pay taxes. Yeah, they do. They need to pay their fair share. I'd rather prefer them pay half the shit they got. Put it back into the economy. Put them back to helping out people. Build up the damn reputation better instead of the damn pocketbooks. At least the ones out there struggling like crazy have a better reputation than the billionaires or those who've got the money for it. The guys are on the street trying to volunteer left and right, struggling with everything and everybody. Those are the people who earn more and more respect and street creds than anything else. Not the ones trying to shove their way and say, you got to follow me because I say so. No. A couple of fingers for you. You think it's angry? I gotta laugh at that one. I'll be considered woke. Okay, I'm woke. And I'm going back to bed. I'm going to sleep up this little nightmare that I've got going on right now. It's turning out to be sunrise outside. And I'm going back to bed and miss the sunrise. And then I got work to do. And I don't care what anybody else says about a damn thing or not. They got something to say? I got comment lines. Put up a video for a response if you need to. I got that's a concept. Like, dislike, I don't give a shit anymore. A lot of people on YouTube, I discovered that they're more worried about their damn cred on the tube than anything else. Their image has to be better. Like my image. I don't give a shit. I was paid a compliment a few days ago. I was losing weight. My diabetes is going nuts. So be it. I'm dealing with this. Everybody else is having conniption fits and freaking out left and right. Let them have fun with it. I'm a sourpuss. I don't give a shit. I'm seeing what's happening to people left and right. They're reacting. They're going nuts. They're screaming and yelling. And I'm still here. And one day I won't be. And I have to accept the fact. Either I'll be tossed out of my ear. If I'm still paying rent, I don't think that's going to happen. Try to keep the place somewhat decent. I'm still dealing with a roach war. Can't get rid of it. Not for 2 years. I hate it. I got other bugs moving in. Sucks. I'm still stuck on limited income, but you know what? I live with it. I deal with it. I could have had, I could have had, I could have. Yeah, and I didn't. And I'm not puffing out my chest saying, well, I'm glad I did. Well, shit happens. Deal with it with humility and humbleness. And flipping after people left and right, well, they don't like it. Fuck them. Am I insulting? Good. Did I piss people off? Did I upset them? Did I throw them into an imbalance? You're already imbalanced already when I came over. You start watching the videos. You already were imbalanced. That's the thing. I'm not dependent upon people's comments or likes or dislike. This originally was a lifeboat for me. And if there was any changes happening in my life, had to be put on record. I came across in my lifetime too many people who didn't leave a journal, who didn't say what the hell was going on, and kept throwing the signs out and saying, "Hey, look, this is what I'm going through. What am I supposed to do about it?" Nobody else pays attention until absolutely the final entry is in there and it's incomplete, or maybe it was completed and then the act was done, or something happened that incompleted it. I've had a lot of issues happening in my life. Yes, I'm in therapy right now, but the people who are trying to give therapy are on strike because a corporation won't help the lower people. They help themselves. So I'm stuck with it. Not a damn thing I can do because I probably leave the damn thing, but I've already made a patient-doctor relationship going on with a therapist that helps me. I trust this lady. Don't ask me why. She's earned it a bit. And I'll be sorry to leave her company if or when it comes. These things happen. We all make choices. We all make decisions. We all pour down our fluid into the mortar and mix it up and put down another cover stone of experiences and memories and everything else. We build our lives. We build the stones. We build the pathway. Our individual to the collective, to the combined collective we got. To a country, a philosophy, way of life, way of thinking. And if we can't do that, well, that's the road we made. That's the road we chose to make. Think on these things, I would ask, I would suggest. I would not coerce. I would not force. I would simply say it. Think on these things. Maybe one day it'll make sense.